Let's start with some of this breaking news on this story. Former president and GOP frontrunner Donald Trump now calling on the state of Alabama's lawmakers to protect IVF. We're also learning at the same time the Alabama Attorney General says he will not prosecute IVF providers or families. What do you make of those two developments?
Yeah, that there's no intention to prosecute there. Listen, there's a lot of action. There's a lot of movement on this story just in the last couple of hours, Zinkley. Let's start with the political piece of it, because you referenced former President Trump. There had been some, I think, discussion, some spotlight on him as to how he would respond to this very controversial ruling in Alabama. We have already seen the response now, thanks to our own Ali Vitale from his opponent in the Republican primary race, Nikki Haley, a couple of days ago, saying that she believes also that an embryo is a life. Then later backtracking on some of those comments, suggesting that she agreed with Alabama's court decision. The former president is making clear, reading, I think, where the political winds are blowing here, that he would like to see the Alabama legislature now revisit this, which the legislature has said they intend to do, essentially. And what's interesting here is why the former president might be doing this here. You've already got today, for example, a memo out from the Senate Republican campaign arm. It's called the NRSC, telling candidates, essentially suggesting to candidates some of the talking points they may want to use as it relates to IVF, which is, as you know, widely, broadly supported, cutting across the political spectrum. And so there's sort of the political bucket in that as it relates to the former president. Then you have this other question, which is, as Laura has laid out in that piece there, in that story, the concern from these healthcare facilities that they could end up essentially on the hook, that they could end up on the wrong side of the law if they do continue with these IVF treatments. And so that's why it's notable that the state's attorney general is coming out and saying, listen, we have no intention to prosecute. Keep in mind that the real concern for many of these healthcare facilities has been less about the prosecution, Zinkley, and more about the potential for civil liability. In other words, that they could end up sued for a whole bunch of money if something happens to these embryos, Zinkley.
And Hallie, you said it, right? President Trump, former President Trump, speaking out about this may signal he's aware of where political winds are blowing. Yeah. Clearly, abortion has been a divisive issue for voters. IVF seems to be now. So let's talk about the political implications of this ruling, especially as we look toward the South Carolina primary that's happening tomorrow. How could this decision impact that race?
Probably less a factor in a primary race, Zinkley, versus the general. I think that's where you're going to see the rubber start to meet the road here as it relates to this discussion more broadly over reproductive rights. And let me just remind people what this stems back to, right? This stems back to the overturning of Roe versus Wade in 2022, that milestone landmark abortion rights ruling from the Supreme Court. You saw how that energized and mobilized voters on the Democratic side of the spectrum ahead of the midterms there, pushing more Democrats into office. The question has been now since then for Democrats, as they're looking ahead of the presidential election, can some of that momentum around the issue of reproductive rights help keep President Biden, of course, the presumptive Democratic nominee, in office come November? And so that is why you are seeing, I think, to a lot of degrees, the president talking about this. He is now tweeting, putting out a statement about this essentially in the last 24 hours or so. Vice President Kamala Harris just yesterday referenced this at a reproductive rights roundtable. So I think you're seeing the spotlight stay on this issue, Zinkley.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.